Some of this traditionally...
Oh my god, yes, internet controversy! Monty, get in here, we're gonna watch Doctor Who! There's no doubt that you don't already know the context behind this. Doctor Who has existed on television sets for the better part of 60 years and has obviously seen some questionable decisions in its time, but it was like Twitter Armageddon when they gave the main character's next incarnation a pair of tits. Yes, a female doctor, it seems, is the only thing capable of getting all those lingering, sweaty, meninist dipshits off the sofa for once. Wish I'd known that when I was trying to lure one of them away with a body pillow. One of my favourite responses to the announcement trailer went like this: "Oh no, whatever will they think of next? Female women?" Because it really does emphasise the sheer ludicrousy of it all back in June 2017. New frontrunner Chris Chibnall said he wanted to give both new and old fans a fresh look at the next series to be released, which made more than enough sense to me, seeing as how Moffat had already left the franchise in a bit of a state and he was left to inherit the blackened, smoking remnants of what was once a decent narrative. If you're wanting a visual metaphor for the slow regression of seasons 7 and 9, picture a cake you've lovingly baked for hours, then you baked it a little bit more, then a little bit more, then exposed it to concentrated machine gun fire for 10 minutes. That sort of a state. Luckily, it seemed that Chibnall had since brought about a new policy for BBC, which stated, in the event of Doctor Who becoming terrible once again, ditch it all and then write something else. You know, like what a normal person would do. And if you ask me, he did a pretty good job. It's pretty easy to tell that there's new direction behind cinematography, dialogue and characters, but of course the main question is, have we climbed out of the mound of raw sewage yet? Or have we simply dreamt up our escape since we're too busy tripping out from all the fumes? Naturally, I've decided to look over the oh-so-dramatic season finale with you all, because Morgoo fucking reviews won't be fobbed off with any old tat. And this now means we'll be taking the right-hand turn onto Spoiler Avenue. So either grab onto that steering wheel or throw yourself out of the passenger side door right now, because this ride ain't gonna stop for no one, bro. Sorry, I'll never say that ever again.
A long time ago, on the battlefields of Britain, an army of enemies came together to face an impossible opponent. This unlikely army fought and won the bloodiest of battles. They split their opponent's vanquished body into 3 pieces to be buried at opposite ends of the world.
And we've got narration. Yeah, that's a promising start. We easily could have had the 3 of them simply get into their little triangle, have Guy 1 say to Guy 2, "So what are we going to do about this extraordinary enemy none of us can defeat?" Then Guy 2 could say, "How about we carve it up and take each part to the furthest ends of the earth?" Then Guy 1 can go, "Sure thing." And then maybe Woman 1 can say, "Don't I get an opinion in this?" And then, I don't know, Guy 2 could respond like, "No, 'cause you're a woman." But no, we've got to explain things as obviously as possible for the dumb audience. Okay, I added that sound in post. In my defence though, you can tell they were close to putting it in themselves, really. Anyway, one of the guys gets shot and his corpse slowly rots away over time, whilst the other 2 successfully bury their respective pieces and stand guard beside them until they die, which will be about 3 days since they apparently have no food or water with them whatsoever. Cut to the present day when 2 archaeologists are busy digging up the 3rd guy's body and obviously the Dalek gets free. I'm sure I'm not spoiling anything by telling you what it is, because even if you've never watched Doctor Who before, you're bound to be able to tell from the trailers alone. Oh no, what's that noise? Better enter this dark, scary looking area all by myself. Ha, this is such a good idea. Oh. Also, apparently every alien that rises from the dead on this planet carries a tracking beacon with them at all times, because the Doctor shows up to investigate in about 5 minutes. And with that statement, I'm sure you'll all want to sharpen your pitchforks and torches, because it's high time I talked about my opinion on Jodie Whittaker's performance as the Time Lord. I'm not going to pretend that she's the best or anything, but Whittaker's take on the character is definitely one of those versions that are hard to dislike. You could say that such a performance was a deliberate choice so as to stand out from Capaldi's incarnation as a grim, borderline asshole. But one of the reasons reasons I especially liked Capaldi in the past was because, to me at least, he was a lot more relatable. Take that for the massive groundbreaking statement that it is. He was out to solve a mystery, defeat some massive threat against Earth, and he didn't have time for your trivial bullshit. Whittaker, on the other hand, makes the character seem a lot more childish, similar to Matt Smith, which at certain points is good and gives her a fun energy, especially with the broadest accent I think I've ever heard since Eccleston, but at other points means precious minutes are wasted on really crap jokes. Once again, the character is only as good as their writing, which, thankfully, so long as Chibnall improves upon the decent pace he's already at, will mean she'll get even better over time. Now, to finish this video before an assassin hired by the fanbase snipes me through my living room window.
Oh, is that your intruder alert or mine?
It's the doorbell.
Oh, yeah.
Oh shit! Who is that? It's... Hold on a second. Aaron! Aaron, in the likely event that you don't know, is Ryan's father, who didn't show up to his mother's funeral. His mother also happened to be Ryan's grandmother and Graham's new wife, so yes, you can already smell the stench of unresolved character drama lingering around the bastard already. Once the rest of the group basically abandon Graham and Ryan with them, they end up sitting down and having a few talks together. And to be honest, these scenes were probably my favourites out of the entire episode. Both Graham and Ryan go through character arcs in which they separately understand the personal issues Aaron's already going through and why he didn't turn up at the funeral. It also helps the audience see Aaron as less one-dimensional and a lot more sympathetic, even if the tone doesn't match up with the rest of the episode. So all in all, the dialogue was pretty well written, and as I said before, I enjoyed them for what they were worth. But you're not here to see me talk about the good stuff, so let's just get right back onto the bad like a druggie freshly released from the world's laziest rehab clinic. And speaking of bad, just listen to this music. That's the music that plays during the montage of the Dalek building itself, and holy shit does it succeed in taking away all the tension it could have had. By the way, the Dalek has managed to take over control of one of the archaeologist's bodies, like some sort of cordyceps fungus with a slightly larger amount of tentacles. Yeah. If you're already questioning the idea in your head, then rest assured you're already applying more logic than the production team did for this particular scene. Did they just hire really expensive and good writers for the scenes with Aaron in, and then just had to make do with random illiterate homeless people off the street for the rest? The Dalek and the Doctor finally meet up, the Dalek in its filthy, homemade and admittedly slightly cool looking armour. I guess even shit can look pretty sometimes. And they do some banter. Doctor says line A, Dalek says line B, Doctor says I'm the Doctor, Dalek gets scared. Then the Dalek flies away and kills a bunch of people in possibly some of the most comedic ways I've seen on this show in a long time.
Intercepted unknown drone. We have it surrounded.
Don't get me wrong, I think it is important that one of the most cheesy villains in pop culture has some incredibly over-the-top scene one way or another, hence my liking for Darth Vader punning it up in Rogue One.
Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, Director.
But if this got any sillier, then you could probably brand it as a Doctor Who parody and be able to enjoy it just as well without changing a single thing. Then the Dalek disables the internet and repurposes it as a tracking beacon to summon the fleet and take the planet over. Insert obvious joke about the human race's independence on technology here.
On New Year's Day, when everything's shut and everyone's hungover? Or a monster?
So of course they managed to find some suitably contrived way in which to stop the thing by sticking old bits of microwave to its plating and then blowing it up. For fuck's sake. Then they kick it into the sun or whatever and Ryan saves his dad, so I guess he wasn't too bad a guy after all. The end. So what did we learn today, boys and girls? Is this episode one of, if not the worst episode of Doctor Who ever? No. It's not even close, really. It's obvious where the majority of backlash for this series as a whole comes from, and whilst this episode itself does have a ludicrously stupid plot and hastily added concepts that are never properly explained, I don't really feel like this was Chibnall's fault if I'm being honest. Take this with a pinch of salt because this is just my own unconfirmed speculation, but the way I see it, he ended the series where he probably planned for it to end, only just realising a few weeks later that he had to shoehorn in a Christmas episode as well. The later release date on New Year's is the only vague form of evidence I have, but I'd say that when you compare it to the quality of the series' other episodes, which range from either fun to okay, you can definitely sense some more rushed air about it. Seeing a cool looking Dalek is always nice though, so I guess whether or not you'll get a sense of enjoyment out of it depends less on the plot and more on whether you're just looking for a fun little waste of time, similar to the likes of Venom or the Lego Batman movie. But if you're going to complain about a simple gender change of the main character and thus refuse to watch it on those grounds alone, grow the fuck up. If you don't agree with my speculation, then fair enough. This video has taken me about 2 months to put together and it's not like it's going to get any more than about 20 views anyway.